Get the lights on, finish our.
I figured.
Introduce myself. My name is Sean McGuire with Supervisor Element. This is Mike Mills, Three Rivers.
Hi, it's me, walking the sheriff's office.
Yes, I heard that's it.
She's actually married to Johnson.
We're just so organized. Okay.
I was trying to get a hold of you and. You need to.
Well, compare.
Say you should get some sort of reward. It's just what you want. The guy like, yeah, I'm sure we have
I did.
Okay.
I think it'll be pretty hard.
Yeah, it's happening. Yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to bring the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the biggest gift?
It would be safe, right? And so. We were talking. This is.
So I just.
And she's even like a. Like I'm dead.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just been kind of touchy. Some people get them, some people don't. Because the filters on emails.
But I get it. So weird.
Number.
That's weird. So I could still feel a little bit.
Yeah. No,
I think you don't.
I think after that.
I kind of. I just wanted to make sure that.
No, it's supposed to be weird.
You guys get to.
But the 2023 is.
Did you? I saw that people had used it.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's the weird thing about that, like, that we can see. Well, the website we can't too, so like, if you go on something on it, it shows us like where the person is.
I wanted to grab the ours.
Everyone's booked.
Yeah, that's what it, you guys have our.
Just keep it in the back. of your mind.
If you want to submit it on the job board, it's
I would love
I never know.
I didn't ask. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no,
I
and
know.
everything off.
That's what I said, I'm gonna take it too.
I know.
Practice round. And then they stay.
Yeah. They're trying to figure out that stuff. And I'm like, how did you do that? She's going,
And then sometimes Shelby has a meet, right?
she's just a messy, she takes pictures and she just makes them. Stories on
Friday, Saturday.
That one.
That has happened.
I never would do it.
But it's not that many reps. It's just their dollars that make it to scale. Oh, yeah.
So people are-
And it's so funny because I was trying to come up with managers, but he's all pretty. I haven't checked that out.
Yeah, that's not my friend.
Don't know.
I'm not much.
So you can take it, yeah. Big one's gonna happen.
But that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows what Shelby would like it to hear, right?
Yeah.
Don't ask me out. Yeah. I would think summer you could.
She goes to daycare part-time now. She's with her little guy right now. No, that's my big old, that's my bag of life.
Your bag.
Laptop, checkbook. Oh,
Yeah.
the car is for the kids' snack round.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Hi, how are you? No, you're okay. No, we put 11:45 because most people can't get here until noon, so we don't really start talking until it's fine. Yep, and did you order the biggest one?
No, I'm not.
You ordered food,
Right. I did, and I have a report. We kind of chatted there. That's what I would want that.
Forever. You know, that's horrible.
Maybe, or it would just be really awkward.
Nobody thinks.
I might remember, I might have some extras. I've been trying to bring some.
There were some that went to, that was actually, that's the model. Last time I was sitting on my job.
That's all right. So you excited?
Now we know.
I'm gonna get to officially be back at Shelby on Monday, you said? Oh, yep, sure. Yep.
I didn't realize that.
I thought.
Yeah, it's not. No, I heard it was Chester. Yeah, it was funny. I went to the hockey rink in Amherst, when I was doing my training, and they're,
This is my comfort.
yeah. And when you already said that, I was like, okay, what the heck?
Very cheap. Real on a budget. They're not gonna get the budget. But he said, he knows my standards now because of how big that is. So he said, I'm in the hotel. Because that's to get promoted in the job. Yeah. I know, I saw that too. Oh, that's funny. We stared at it a long time. I think our teacher's upside down. Yeah. Some days you can't tell. Good, how are you?
All right, I'm gonna call us to order so we can get started. First thing is, we're gonna get into reports. Laura emailed me this morning and she's not gonna be able to make it, so we're gonna move right to the.
So just a couple items for review. First one, we did have our kindergarten screening on April 12th. We had 36 students show up for kindergarten screening. So we're going to be another large class, students coming in, kindergarten, Shepley Elementary. Then later on in the month, we had our Arbor Day cleanup. Last Friday, so we only did it for the elementary, so just around the facility. We weren't sure what the weather was going to be like, so we had asked us to postpone it. So the high school is actually going to get out some cleanup when we do our spring Olympics. That's going to be on May 20th. So look at that. Red is here. We want to go back.
No, finish up and then we'll go back.
This week we've got State Music Festival. We have school off on Friday, so no school on Friday. Kids heading down to the State Music Festival. I'll be heading down that direction to support them. Got our school board meeting next week on May 10th. There's a variety of different items that we're going to be talking about, but one that some of the community might be interested in is we'll be discussing our 8th grade policy as far as playing up for athletic participation. MHSA changed the rule. The rule used to be that you could bring players up for basketball, volleyball, or a track relay team, and there were some specific situations that you had to meet to allow for that based on the number of student athletes that you had out. They revised that rule to say any 8th grader that wants to participate in the high school level sport can, but it's up to the local school board to make that determination, except for football. And so we're really trying to put together a plan for how we're going to address this as the school year goes on next year, rather than having the board meeting every time it wants to put it out. Set guideline process for what that's going to look like. So we'll be talking about that in the May 10th board meeting. If anybody's interested, has an opinion or can't make it, please share the information because we have in attendance. Next up, on May 12th, we've got our junior high band and choir concert at 7 p.m. Got our aluminum can challenge we talked about with Loretta a few times, but it's on May 13th. So we would say this cans, classes. Next up, senior trip. They're heading over to Port Elaine, May 14th through 16th. They're going to miss 1 day of school for that senior trip. We're trying to keep that to 1 day out. State golf is also that same week, that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's down in Fairmont this year. We don't have any seniors on the team, so that's why we're trip. Our little guy concerts are 3 through 5 on the 17th, and then our K through 2 on the 19th. Those are both during the day, 2 o'clock. Arbor Day cleanup, as I mentioned, May 20th. That's when our high school kids, junior high school kids, all. Senior awards ceremony, 7 p.m. in the auditorium, May 23rd. Got our high school pop concerts. Concert at the end of the year where we have soda pop and ice cream. More less traditional, more fun types of music. We do all the awards, all of those things take place on that day for the pop concert. So I encourage anybody to follow your music, come out to that, and at 7 p.m. on May 4th. Down at the golf course, they'll have the Booster Club banquet on the 25th. I don't have a time for that yet. I assume it's 6 or 7. State track is that weekend, 27th, 28th. I think great balls this year, so nearby. We've got our graduation, 3 p.m. on May 29th. Our fun run and field day, thanks to some of our sponsors. T-shirts that we give out to the kids, I'm sure you've seen them running around all summer with those Shelby fun run shirts. Local logos on that. Certainly appreciate the support on that. And then our year-end assembly will be on next day on the 2nd. A lot of stuff. I know it's not going to remember all of that, but Ashley's going to have all of it and then go out in the notes. So any questions? I have not seen anything on it.
Kelly, did you say May 18th or May 16, 17, 18 is big goal?
16 to 18, yeah. Yep, that's done. The last couple of years for the 8th graders, their graduation. Last 2 years. I assume they're planning. Yep. Any other questions?
The right will back.
Very good. Sorry, I was late. You're okay. The city is applying for funding to address some wastewater system improvements. I've talked about it before. They will be submitted here in the next couple of weeks, and then the funding awards won't be announced until after the 2023 legislative session. So it's kind of a long ways off, but that's how we have to plan is that far in advance on some of these projects. The wastewater components we are going to apply for are emergency generators for our lift stations, which I'm learning where all the sewer stuff is, but a lift station actually moves the sewer stuff from one point of the community down to the, I know, it's really, okay, it's enough.
I'm doing the same thing.
TMI.
Lifting sewer.
Yeah, right, yeah, so, anyway, so emergency power generation there in case of power outages, some certain pumps that we needed, and then another piece, a component that goes out in our release. So enough details on that. Sorry about that. The city is working with a company called SAM Painting and Construction to complete the exterior painting of historic Shelby Town Hall, our office of our chamber and visitor information center. They were, competitively bid, and this was the company out of Great Falls that was the low bidder. And it's through a grant through the Office of Tourism Revitalizing Montana's Rural Heritage Program. So he is not able to get to it until late summer, just so you are aware. The city will do some minor repair work. There's a portion of the cement board and the siding on the south side that's going to be replaced, and some 2x4s underneath the trim that we need to replace, and then we're going to get new doors. So that'll really yesterday, the Montana Urban Community Forestry Association came to Shelby and planted 6 trees of different species as part of a grant that replaces green ash trees, which Shelby has 40+% green ash trees. The threat, of course, is the emerald ash borer. It has not come to Montana yet, but they're fearful that as this terrible bug makes its way east, it'll wipe out all our green ash trees. And so their efforts are to replace it with new species, try and get the most diseased or the most aged green ash trees down, and then replant and hope for the best. So those trees were planted up in Lincoln Park, and our city crew were great helping the crew from the MUCA Foundation to plant those.
So then you're talking Lincoln Park, so are all of the trees other than the pine trees up at Lincoln Park?
No, what's in Lincoln Park is the dual cottonwood, the green ash are kind of in the center, and then the pine are fine unless it's some other beetle bug. And then the whole exterior is actually Russian olive, which is an invasive species now, but we're not knocking those down. Those are a great fence. Yeah, they're like a natural fence for the park, and they're fragrant. And I think why they are considered an invasive species is the forest department planted them along creek beds and rivers, and it has since then changed the pathway of these creeks and river beds. That's why then now they have decided they're an invasive species. They planted them on the spot. So they're fine.
So these green ash aren't all of the trees?
No. So the trees, part of this grant we took down is the 6 trees that were in front of the old Barrett School, those gnarly old trees, those went down. And these 6 new trees replace those that we took down. So around the middle school, all green ash. Around City Hall, on the side there to the east, green ash. My front yard.
Got it.
Yeah, those are green ash of those trees. And the middle school is a classic example of how gnarly. They just, they just, we should have pruned them way back when, they should have been pruned from the beginning, but, that's 50 years ago. But, so anyway, those are green ash. And so far, the threat has not come to mind, but they're being very proactive in trying to get rid of the most aging and the most susceptible bugs. And those are the old ones, the young ones that have potentially some good life and hopefully can fight off this ash borer. So this is the second year that they've actually done this program. We took down 10 trees around the middle school last time. That were the worst of the green ash there, and then we didn't replant them at the middle school. We planted them at Medlar Park, skate park, and other places that are kind of a new place that that a lot of people love to use. So
Good.
Yeah, and then we will also have 8 more additional trees coming, and that's through a grant through the Arbor Day Foundation and our urban forestry program. And those we will plant. The crew goes to Great Falls, picks them up, and then we'll plant those later in May. And for the most part, pardon
Do
me,
you know where those are going?
those will go out at Lake Shoal, next to the ball fields. The ball field inner area there doesn't have irrigation, so we can't put it in there. But across the road there's kind of a tent area, it's called, as part of the park. We'll try and plant those there.
Okay.
You have some other places? Tell me.
If you give me time to think about it, I will. consider it.
We through the years, we've put a lot of trees. We've done the city park, we've done, of course, Medlar Park, skate parks, swimming pool park, those places that, you see the most frequency of people enjoy. Try to some new trees, some new generations of trees. Yeah, if there's someplace that you think needs them, absolutely. We always have to consider irrigation, available water. Okay, we continue to work on our demolition project, which involves the Old Literate School. We're still waiting on the completion of an environmental assessment. Engineers had to go in and quantify the amount of hazardous materials, whether that be asbestos, whether it's paint, something with the light, all those things. So once that's done, we submit that to the state for approval of our environmental assessment. And then we can proceed to the big solicitation to, of course, remediate, take out all those hazardous materials, and then we can demolish the building. If we don't know, the intent of that area is new homes, building new homes. So that's our goal. Arbor Day, as Elliot just spoke about, was last Friday. Again, the high school kids are waiting until their community service day on May 20th. But we did have some great groups. I think the elementary kids got out there. I saw pictures of that, which was awesome. St. William's Youth Group, Ardent Mills, which is a company out in the multimodal facility. They cleaned the frontage road out into the multimodal. And then our Toll County Sheriff's Office cleaned the ball fields and did a fabulous job. Tiffany and crew over there just did a great job. Even striped the fields. So they went above and beyond cleaning the weeds and the garbage. So the ball fields look fabulous. We're very appreciative to them. And then Logan Health will do it later this month too around their facility in Omaha. So those efforts every year make such a difference in our community. We're so grateful, especially the schools. The schools have partnered with our program since before I was even there. They used to have a junior high builders club that did projects within the community, and so we're very grateful. It's a great partnership. Our Restore the Sign campaign has raised $8,375 to date, thanks to Independence Bank. Not even open, and they're giving us money. Awesome. And it's great. Things are slowly progressing, and as we talked about, the estimated cost for the sign itself, the tower, is about $24,000. So we're getting there. As part of Sweetgrass Development, Sean, their community, they did a survey related to, what the community feels that what Sweetgrass should be focusing on, what are the needs of the region. we were awarded $1,000, thanks to also Ashley for getting the word out. That helped a bunch for a community project. And so what we have chosen to do is purchase banners and the light pole fixtures for the light poles along Roosevelt Highway here between Dunes and the Dixie, where there's 7 poles. So the city will make up the above and beyond the $1,000. But we thought that's, someone brought that to our attention. It's like,
Actually, last month, we got a request from a business owner on Roosevelt, saying that they feel kind of left out.
Right.
Because the focus is on Main Street. when we do seasonal things.
Right.
So including them in that, they're also businesses that are. what we
So,
are doing.
So we're opting to purchase banners 30 by 60, so they're longer than our Main Street banners. And we hope, of course, the wind will not just run quickly, but that's our first, that would be a great project. And they'll be banners that can go up year round. And so that will be, unless, there's some fundraising efforts later.
Are they
to
gonna be
do season.
identical to the Main Street ones?
No, they're gonna be the same color, blue, but they'll just say welcome to Shelby and behind it, just be kind of fun like that. They're, yeah, big banner. Yeah, this umbrella fabric that canvas type stuff. So they're actually sending us a sample, so we'll make sure they.
So bad.
You're in, right?
All right, you're hired.
Yeah.
Just gotta fit it in with all my other songs.
Yes, okay. Good to know. Good
Yeah.
to know. I've got you. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Our June newsletter will be coming out the first week of June, and in that will include our summer schedule for the swimming pool and the civic center. And then we'll also have a list of summer activities happening within the community. Things like basketball camps, football camps, FFA projects, different things. So if there's something that is coming up that I'm not aware of, holler at me and let me know if there, I know actually you'll get me the speaker information, whatever else we need related to that. So it's just a great way for every hospital to see, gosh, we could send, we could do school lessons, we could go to basketball camp, we could do whatever. So, and also church, vacation Bible school, stuff like that. So hopefully that will be, people will take advantage of. And that's all. And then we talked about Mountain Camps Challenge. That's great coming up. And I think that's everything. The city will be at the elementary fun day. I think Jessica will be able to sell pool passes, things like that, or city center pool passes that day, and hand out some information related. Again, maybe we'll have that summer activity list printed for her to hand out too.
And I don't know if there's still tickets available, but there is a superhero circus coming to the Civic Center. I think it's next week. But it's gonna be a kid-friendly thing. There's 2 sessions from what I saw.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys let the community know, those with small kids in your lives know. How they kind of fun things to get out for.
Different inside. Hopefully no big animals.
So no, from what I saw, it looks like they have some aerialists and their own stuff that they
Oh,
set
cool.
up for that. Some superheroes, and then it looked like a transformer or something like that. So it should be a fun thing.
So would this be, we talked at the DUI task force meeting about maybe May 31st?
Yeah, the park and rec. I mean,
No, I mean, how we might do that meeting about the grant.
oh, yes,
And May
yeah,
31st.
yes, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, thank you for
Okay.
bringing that up, Sherry. So within our Polk County Transportation Safety Committee and DUI task force, there was pretty intense conversation related to the epidemic of kratom, which is a new mood enhancing product that can be sold over the counter and is being sold in one of our local businesses. And then, of course, the increase in DUIs, and not necessarily alcohol related, but prescription drugs, marijuana, and everything else that is altering. And so within the conversation, we thought maybe we need to do a town hall and bring these experts together to let people know exactly what to be looking for, what parents should look for. But I don't even know how the packaging is for kratom or anything like that. But an informational town hall, which will be May 31st, during the hour in Sherry's conference room. The DUI task force has monies to provide a luncheon for everybody, but they'll want to RSVP so that they know how many lunches to purchase. So we hope a lot of people turn out for that and really understand the issues that our community is facing, law enforcement is facing, you know, if you don't have kids in school, where you're finding lines of things that are going on that you should really be aware of.
Well,
So,
and the big concern about this freedom thing specifically is that there's not an age limit, or there's not an age that they can restrict kids from buying it. So.
I was shocked at our DUI task force. I guess I was probably I had missed another meeting and found out that a 12-year-old kid can buy
right.
mood enhancing.
Yeah. You can have a 6-year-old walk in.
Yeah.
Just purchase it.
And I think parents don't know that stuff.
Do you?
Yes, right? Okay, I'm really,
No. Today is the first day.
so you want to come to this meeting?
Laura, do you want me, so I run the Toll County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Do you want me to put that meeting date and time?
Oh, yeah, Mary Miller is our coordinator, and so
Okay.
Mary, if you connect with Mary, she will get you all that
Okay,
information.
and I'll get.
Yes.
it.
Yeah, Mary is the director of our Youth for Alliance and really spearheads a lot of incredible programs in this community that really, I think, will make a difference. And,
Yep, I
she's
have
doing
her
a great
phone number, so I'll get in contact with her and we'll get it. on the sheriff's office as
Yes,
well.
great. Yeah, she's working on, in fact, she just texted me that she's working on some advertising in the paper and an RSVP for the lunch. So we hope we get a great turnout. You know, Mayor McDermott was there. Of course, he's a private employer as well. And his conversation, of course, led to when an employee is kind of questionable, things like that. So employers, it's important that you're there, parents, you know, just interested community members that work with you or work, it doesn't matter. Everybody should really make an effort to try to attend that. 1 hour, it won't interfere with a lot of people's work schedule during the lunch hour. We just hope we get a good turnout, make it a great opportunity to learn more about these things that are facing our community. That's all.
Ice Festival is June 11th.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I had that, but I wanted to make sure on the date. Thank you. Yeah.
Do they have any plans on fixing this?
Yeah, we have, not all of them. They can't all be fixed.
Where would our charm go?
Yes, stores. The C store?
Yeah.
Oh, that on Main Street? Yes.
Yeah.
That one is gonna take cleanup more than just street patching. The plan is to actually, at some point, it might get patched this summer, but the plan is to take the pavement down and concrete that corner because of the weight the semis put on that corner all the time. It's just deteriorating, yes. So that is one of them that is gonna take a larger project. They're gonna try and patch it as best they can this summer. And then, when we have enough funds to really do that, because you're right, that is terrible. Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah. And it's the weight of the trucks, that continual semi movement there. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes. Thank you.
Well, and even just this morning, we talked about trying to do something with that corner right there next to it. But one of the museum board members said that her idea that she would like to see happen with it is somehow knock off some of that corner for size so that it isn't such a 90-degree turn for them to get back on like they do in Sunday. That was her suggestion that the museum should do with that. So
MDT is the ruler of the
Yeah.
world when it comes to the streets. So, it's a highway. And Main Street, if anybody doesn't know, Main Street is a highway. And so we can't make big changes. I mean, it's all through MDT. Even our signage, things like that, has to go through an incredible review process before you decide. So along those lines, of course. And that would be great. But they have looked at multiple plans. They looked at wiping out the C store and making a direct pathway from the east to hit frontage. And so there's been years and years of review, and MPT has not come up with a full answer. But that corner lot that Ashley's talking about, if you know that on Main Street, on the north side, that's owned by the museum. And so we just would love to see somehow that piece of property be either green space or something other than a dirt.
something more welcoming, because when you come to that, through that end of town, that's kind of the first thing you see is an empty gravel lot with a fence around it.
Museum wants it to be.
I'm not sure. I just think they don't know what quite to do with it or the expense involved. So.
And I asked Lorette, the reasoning for the fencing was kids were jumping
Yeah,
off that
it was
mountain with
dangerous.
their bikes down to the Roosevelt side of Main Street. So that's why the fence is
Yes.
there, so it just kind of turned into a Sure.
Yeah, and then they killed all the weeds, because it was weedy, but now it's just a dirt hill, so it's kind of a bummer. I wish we could figure out some great use for it that doesn't cost the museum money, because they're worried about, when you're a nonprofit little organization that really has any money, you don't want to get into something you can't afford to take care of. But Independence Bank looks awesome. Oh my gosh, the project is beautiful.
We open on Monday, so you guys will have to come by and see the inside.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. They've done with that building.
I bet.
Completely done on you.
Is it crazy for you leaving
Yes.
from the other and coming
Yeah.
back to this whole new facelift of that?
Yes. It's been really amazing. Yep.
Awesome. Next one is Kelsey. Do you have anything to report from the hospital?
Yeah, we're hoping to get some updates as well. It's gonna take some time, but it's kind of a focus. The building is updating. The process of getting some paint on the walls, new paints, new flooring, kind of in an entrance way, and just so all those like cosmetic updates. We are, yeah, like I said, we're tomorrow gonna do our Monday cleanup. We got pushed from last week to this week. So again, just around our facility, kind of around the care center, kind of around there, for working tomorrow. So waves, yes, and that will be pictures and shared. And then I know we also are signed up for a walking meal Wednesday, coming up in May.
Yeah, I want to confirm because that's when Mr. Reynolds will be gone, so we'll have all of
Perfect. Okay, great. So we're trying to gather proof for that, and we're excited about that. And so we're actually celebrating 1 year anniversary of Logan Health. So we're excited that that kind of also falls in this next week's hospital appreciation week. So we're doing a full week of activities and recognition for our staff at the hospital, and actually not even just hospital, but just we're actually calling it healthcare week, because we want to incorporate our assisted living facility, which was called Community Heritage Center, and then our care center facility and hospital all in one. So not just hospital, but healthcare appreciation week. So we do have some businesses, local businesses that are donating some gifts, giveaways to our workers that we're going to be drawing and raffling off next week. And so we just wanted to appreciate or give kind of some thanks to some local businesses that have already donated. And if you are interested in donating to our, they're going to be given to staff. So all hospital staff will be put in those drawings for some giveaways. We've already got some really nice items, and it can be anything that's appreciated. So if you have anything in your business, you can let me know. You can reach out to me or anyone at the hospital. And they can contact Sharon or Cindy Lamb. Yeah. Okay, perfect. That'd be awesome. And we're still expanding our services, and we're working on that. Still have our general surgeon, Dr. Milheim, coming from Kalispell doing some surgery. So we're excited to offer that here. And then we have a mammogram grant, I guess, here twice a month. And then we offer nuclear medicine, and it comes every month. So that's like radioactive that takes care of diseases and stuff. So yeah, just wanting to expand our services and getting that out to the public for us. So
Is that it from Logan?
yes.
Awesome. And then Jamie said she wasn't sure she could make it, and then I didn't hear from Pete, so I'll work my way into old business. I am gonna pass around the committee sheet again, the sign up sheet. The two big ones to focus on is the Dempsey Gibbons Committee as well as the Parade Committee. Dempsey Gibbons, I sent out an email to the Champions Park, the Standing Champions Park Committee, as well as those that have shown interest in wanting to be a part of the planning and putting together the Centennial Celebration for next year. We wanted to get the ball rolling on that because we are getting inquiries. I've been getting inquiries for last year about what we're going to do for the upcoming Centennial. So I think it's good for us to start advertising what our plans are for that ahead of time because people other places around the US, there's people anticipating it. So it's a really fun opportunity for us to do something good for Shelby. So that committee, and then parade committee as well, because since we're already in May, if you can believe it, we need to start talking about parade theme. Who we want to be grand marshals for the parade, and start kind of nailing down some details on that. So make sure you sign up for some of those committees. If maybe you don't want to be on the committee, if there's someone on your staff that you think would be a good fit for something like that, or any of the committees on there, please make sure to refer them to me. And then logos for the chamber website. We're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer. We're over halfway. So there's a bunch that I still need. If you haven't gotten it to me, please get it to me. And spring showers brings Main Street flowers. So obviously we're in May. So we have kind of pushed back that a little bit. Photo contest has gotten a little bit behind. We're working on getting our winner picked for that. We had a lot more photos than we anticipated. So that is still coming. We do still need 5 more sponsors. So for those that have been a part of this in the past, it's the calendar, and each day has a sponsored business on it. So we are still looking for 5 more sponsors for that calendar to complete it. So if your business would be interested in sponsoring that, what this fundraiser does, it allows us to purchase Main Street flowers for downtown and along Boyle Field, and then also allowed us this past year to buy permanent Christmas lights for City Park and the candy cane rope lights on Main Street. So allows us to do some really fun seasonal things to kind of get town spruced up for the different seasons. The other thing about that, we talked about Mary Miller earlier. She helps with the sober living group, and she is going to talk to them about the potential of them being volunteers to water this summer. She did say that they wouldn't be able to do certain weekends, so we may only have a couple weekends that we'll need to cover. So if businesses want to volunteer some time to take over, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe, and I want to talk to Loretta about this if the city was still planning on watering through Thursday. Okay.
Any volunteers that will need to bring their driver's
Yep.
license and things like that to City Hall, we have to put you under our insurance class.
Yep, so have to be of driving age, and you will need 2 people to volunteer to do that, because one drives the truck, one stands in the back of the truck and waters, and kind of go from one basket to the next. Normally only takes about an hour and a half, and actually it's pretty nice getting up early and getting to drive through town when it's so quiet and waking up on summer mornings. I didn't mind it last year, so still looking for a few volunteers for that, but I think we have most of it covered. New business. Yesterday in the Chamber Chatter newsletter, I sent out our board nomination application. So we have 4, potentially 5 vacancies on the board right now that need to be filled as soon as possible. So that nomination application is out. If it isn't you, or you have someone in your business that you think would be a good representative for you on the chamber board, please refer them to that application, hoping to get those submitted by June 1st at the latest. That way our nomination committee can kind of vet those applicants and get everything together for our elections. One of those positions that we do have open is our vice president position. That's been vacant since last summer, so it's really important for us to especially fill that position so that we have a full exec team. So watch for that. I'm going to keep sending it out, and if you need the link to that application, just shoot me an email and I can get it over to you. Welcome to Shelby program. We've had an influx of people asking for welcome bags. This is something that before COVID kind of lost its gusto. So working on getting that rebooted. With Shelby Growing, the hospital specifically and the clinic have been asking for these welcome bags. What those used to consist of is brochures, coupons, little swag like pens or hand sanitizer, as well as some information about Shelby, includes the Shelby brochure that the TBID does with a map of where things are. So it's an awesome way for us to connect with those people moving to town and give them like their first referrals to who us as the chamber would refer them to. So we're requesting that you guys bring over whatever you think you would want in those bags. I know Mike brought me some stuff today for the meeting, but we're going to start off making about 50 bags. So if you guys can bring us whatever you would like represented in that bag for someone to bring to Shelby.
out a bunch of information and give us the drive to Audrey.
Okay.
With
I'll
that,
look
and all you have to do is just update it.
Okay.
It's all formatted and everything for it.
Perfect. I'll look at it. I'll look for it in the computer, but yeah, so we're starting off with 50, so restaurants, if you want to do like keep one in there, send something like that down. The school, if you want to put like even teaching openings, what's going on in the upcoming year, like school calendar, something like that, just so that we can put our foot forward with those people welcoming into town. And I talked with the real estate companies that are chamber members when I very first took over the chamber. And so we're going to work on getting our relationship with them, these welcome packets kind of communal, so that when they have someone purchase a house, they get the welcome bags provided by the chamber and our businesses.
So you kind of want to make sure that you, where they hand out, it's not duplicating it and people are getting
Multiple of them.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So in past years, they've already had it.
Yep.
All have them, you have that.
Well, and I think that we'll probably still do them there as well, because then you're catching them on the utility side. But I feel like there's a lot of times people come in and don't necessarily stop in there because they can do it online.
Oh, sure.
So,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So we'll have options as to where we can reach these people. I'm kind of a busy person, so I end up meeting a lot of people on face to face. So we had a family move in next door to us last year, so I delivered one to their door at night after I got home, and they were so tickled by it. So I think it's something cool that you can do for those. Central Montana Tourism Board vacancy. Sherry and I sit on the Central Montana Tourism Board, and one of the chairs for Toole County is open. So that board is set to work on bringing tourism into our region and showcasing different things throughout Toole County and the Central Montana region that attract people to us and bring people in. So we do have a board vacancy for that if you think of anybody that might be interested. Community garage sale weekend. This is something that's in early stages, working on it, but we're looking at setting a date in June that we can kind of piggyback off of what Conrad does and do a community-wide garage sale day. So that's something that we are starting to get our feelers out there on. Lorette and I did talk last night though about the potential of moving it into July to do kind of a street fair kickoff to farmers market and do like a citywide garage sale that day. We'll do some vendors, sidewalk sales, and kind of do the first kickoff to farmers market. So those are our kind of options on that. So watch for some information. It should be a fun summer event. And that's all I've got. Does anybody have any questions for me?
How much are the calendar sponsorships?
It's $100 for this calendar sponsorship.
Okay.
Yep, and we print, I want to say we do 350 calendars, so it goes out on all of those calendars around town, as well as you are considered a sponsor of that package for the day.
Okay, thanks.
I also want to thank our DUI task force and Logan Health. At the end of the year, we generally give all our Shelby elementary kids some sort of giveaway as part of our Safe Routes to School program. Whether they walk or rode their bike, we give everybody something. And then, of course, there's some smaller prizes. We do the city donates school passes, and I've got some pilot shirts, and Logan Health provided some water bottles too. So, and then our Safe Routes to School task force donated enough to buy those drawstring bags that kids can put their cool stuff in or whatever. So thanks to them, the last day of school, we have those prizes out. Encourage them to enjoy a summer of activities. So.
And that reminded me, the Shelby Elks also received a grant to be able to do some COVID sort of project, and they were able to donate, I think it was hand sanitizer, Clorox wipes, and things like that over to the schools. So delivered that last week.
Lorette, for the walking around, well, we at the sheriff's office just ordered a bunch of papers and kid-friendly items. Some of them are like bike safety and walking to school safety. Is that something that like our SROs can get you guys at school, or they can share on the days of walking meals with the students?
Sure.
Probably best through the SRO office.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll have them start bringing those to the walk.
Cool, great idea. Yeah. Like, look before you drive your bike into the middle
Yeah,
of the
and they're
street.
like, some of them have coloring books, and
Yeah.
some of them are for older.
Yeah, perfect. You know, it's surprising what, and our walking little Wednesdays and Fridays, thank goodness the sheriff's department walks with us every week, because people are notorious for just zipping right by and not stopping. And kids are in crosswalks, and 30 of us. I mean, it's not like there's one kid kind of just, looking away. So thank goodness the sheriff's department is there to walk with us, stop traffic if need be, because it's amazing how people respond to crosswalks. And the kids on bikes are still pretty fearless. I don't know how to figure that one out yet, but.
All right, that brings us to open discussion. Does anybody have anything?
I do. I have we had our angel tree meeting, Monday, we had our angel tree meeting, and we come up with some stuff. All the tags will be back to the Smile Shop by the 17th. If you want an angel tree in your shop, your store, whatever, you would come to the Smile Shop, pick up some tags, take it to your store. The only thing you would have to do is write down the name, the tag number, and the phone number of the person that took that tag. The tags don't come back to you, they come back to me, the gifts come back to me. So there's really nothing you have to do other than come and pick up tags for me and to have them signed. And I have a booklet. I made little booklets. If you're interested in doing it, I'll give you the booklet. I'll show you, explain the booklet to you. We're also doing a gift wrapping on December 20th at 6 o'clock at the Baptist Church for all at the activity center at the Baptist Church to wrap all the gifts. December 20th at 6. Pastor Chad had told us that he had a bunch of coats, that if any of the kids on that list need coats, we were going to give them coats. The Elks Club is going to be doing a fundraiser to get more coats if we need more coats. I went down now to the dollar store, and they had hats and kit packets for 50 cents. So I bought 120 of them, so that'll cover all the kids. But we need adult hats because we try to give every tag will get a hat, mittens, and hopefully scarves. We can get some, but at least hat, mittens, and socks. So, but we need more socks, and we need adult hats and gloves. We don't have a whole lot of them. And then Angela Canning is going to buy all the gift bags for us this year, and tissue paper that we need to wrap the gifts with. That we have tons of wrapping paper, tons of wrapping paper. What else? We're going to be putting posters out around town and stuff. I know it's early, but my July is pretty much still, so I gotta get stuff done for me. But it'll be on the radio and in the newspaper and stuff. If you know of somebody that really needs to be on that angel tree, please give them an application or come tell me about them, and we can do something to get them on the angel tree program. It's really, and I have a lot, this book tells you all the rules and regulations and stuff that we have now, because a couple years ago we sat down and had a meeting guidelines that for the angel tree program, because we did have people on there that really didn't need to be on it. So we have 150 people on the angel tree that really don't need that. So we've come up with stuff, and it's not just for kids either. It's for kids, adults 65 or older. I know in the Heritage last year, last year we had 3 people from the Heritage Center. That was really cool because that was not so if you know that anybody that needs to be on the industry that is 65 or older, the only The only exception to the 65 age is if it is a special needs adult. Just gotta let you know if it's a special needs adult. We do have some special needs adults. It needs the age of 3 too. But that's the only exception to the adult. Any other thing, if you're interested in having an angel tree in your shop, just let me know. I'll give you a- I'm ready to go.
Sean, I think you had something, right?
I did, yeah. So QuickBooks training, I've been at previous meetings, I mentioned that we were working on this, because there's been some high demand. And I'm happy to announce that we've got details locked in. I'm gonna go ahead and pass this around the horn. It's just a bootleg copy. I still have to ask the Montana Department of Transportation which logo they want. Because they will be supplying computers. It's gonna be 20 spots of this. It's gonna be a 2-day course, beginning and intermediate QuickBooks. Admission is gonna be for $30. We're gonna be fully in Shoto at the Shoto Teton County Library. We're really excited. Our previous digital marketing trainings went really well. We actually had Clark's Family Restaurant downhill, the one that we did in Conrad, and a lot of attendance from Shelby. We want to thank that Shelby Chamber for helping us get the word out. And then the other big thing that we have coming up in the summer is I may have mentioned something called the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy called SEDS, and mentioned that there was going to be some stuff coming up. We're hammering out our schedule this week, and we actually have some really fun stuff in mind. What we're actually, our original vision is town halls, but we're pivoting to something called pop-in meetings. The basic concept is instead of getting people together in a certain place out, anyway, the long story short is don't be coffee involved. And we're really excited. And we're gonna have details to you ASAP because we're hammering down a schedule this week. But the important thing about these surveys that you're going to be seeing us promoting big time and handing out for these pop-in events are things that are going to help us put together a strategic plan that's going to be guiding our activities in the region for the next 5 years. So when it comes to the brownfields activities like what we've been doing with the Shelby Bitterroot site, when it comes to revolving loan funds, when it comes to workshops and stuff like that, all of that is affected by what gets decided based on feedback that we hear back from the community at large. So we'll be hearing much more about that down the line, but for right now, know that there's be copy involved and surveys to go with it that will be affecting what we do around here for the next 5 years.
And
I jump in on the plan, the SEDS plan is also critical on the city side, because that is the kind of the base document that much of the grant writing federal side requires, that the region have a comprehensive economic development strategy. So it's really important that we get our say and have a good response from a lot of a cross section of people responding to it. So if it's all the same people, we're going to say the same thing. But community people have a whole different perspective on what they need to their community. So important that we all have a voice in that.
well, as Sean said, I think I get the word out. If you guys aren't getting the chamber chatter email, please let me know. We try to be pretty consistent about getting that out once a week. It resets if we haven't opened it on Monday morning, so it goes on Friday afternoon. And we open it again Monday if we haven't opened it, but that is my streamline of communication with you guys. That's where you guys can submit events to me. That's where you can submit job openings to me. And kind of streamlines for you guys what the chamber is doing. So so we've been including things that we restaurant and are doing like the QuickBooks training so that you guys as businesses know. Make sure you're paying attention to that. And if you are not an email person, but you have someone in your business that kind of fields those for you, send their email to me and give it to them as well, so that the information is still there to you if you're not necessarily personally. Anybody have anything else for open comment? If you want, mention it now because the businesses are going to be the ones that have to kind of give us the input and participate for it to happen. So I would, yeah, go ahead.
So I had brought it up to Ashley. So the sheriff's office is slowly trying to get our Christmas parties back up to date. We did it like 10 months late last year, 3 months late the other year. We always do an employee of the year, sworn and not sworn. And the other day I was getting our coffee that I had ordered for the office order. And I mentioned to the gentleman, I was like, you were going to be our employee of the year to the sheriff's office in Pennington County. And he had mentioned it back to his office, and I started getting an email saying, "That's really a thing. allow smaller businesses that don't do this big Christmas party and nominate something for their employees here. To be able to submit something to the chamber.
Our employees in the quarter and they get
Employees in the
they get
quarter.
recognition at the Q1 kickoff luncheon.
Yeah.
The Q2 kickoff luncheon.
And then they get like, some shelter bucks or something that can put money back into our community. And, so just the way that, somebody who's a babysitter, that person's boss says, you know what, they've done this, this, and this, and they just have an amazing employee for me. They have a way to get that recognition so that through, all the trouble, it would change their commerce and those.
For like an understated or underrecognized.
Yeah, it really gives the opportunity to all people, not just ones that work for companies. When they came back to me and said, oh my gosh, this is a great idea, how do I nominate them? Well, that's not a thing that I know of. Let me talk to Ashley and see what we can do. So I just brought it up to Ashley and she mentioned that it might be something that we could start a program for Michelle. So
And I think it'd be fun to do in the quarter and
Yeah.
we do want to see an annual banquet and that person gets recognition. Because there are a lot of employees that don't have the most glamorous jobs in our community and don't necessarily get the recognition.
So be able to get that. And it gives people that, those that don't feel recognized, it gives them that little bit of time to say, hey, when did this happen? And a lot of people say, I work a thankless job over there, notice, really get that word out there and say, hey, we do see you. Then you put them in the paper or something, just to say thanks, and just, some shelf bucks. So we're just ready to pass it.
And that the whole thing brings me to Shelby Bucks. It is a huge thing for you guys to be able to have the ability to purchase that for your staff rather than using gift cards or something else. I know the schools utilized us and we're ready to drop off a bunch more for the county. I think sometimes people are just like, oh, we're receiving Shelby Bucks, but you guys as businesses can also purchase them as incentives for your employees. So it's a really cool opportunity for us to keep that money local. So like the county's getting it for their health screenings. So those that participate in the health screening are gonna get Shelby Bucks, and I believe that's what you guys did as well. So it's an awesome way for us to keep it local. So I just always want to remind you guys that as businesses, you can utilize that program, not just on the accepting side, but also on the purchasing side. Anything else today? Awesome. Well, next month is going to be at the Griddle. Will be lunch hour. We're looking at June 1st. So thank you guys. Make sure to get me board nominations is the biggest one right now. Get those applications in. Whether it be you or a representative from your business that you guys would like to kind of speak on your behalf. Make sure you guys.